So, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Uh, I got a mountain things to do.
Yeah, me too. Somehow I got behind. I was like starting to get ahead, and then all of a sudden, next thing I knew, I was behind. I was like full moon.
That's what, yeah. I'm like, okay, uh, one thing at a time. Got two hands. That's all that can be done.
Yep.
So, uh, what do you envision? I'm ready to receive your guidance.
Um, I mean, even that one line was a perfect example of what is worth sharing, I think. There's all this information out there that makes life really complicated. And the human design experiment, is an invitation to a different way of living
Hmm.
that actually can simplify everything and have it be about you and your own life and what is true for you right now, not what someone wrote in a book last year or 20 years ago.
Hmm.
Right? So you're writing your own script and your own story. And sometimes we can get lost in other people's stories. And for me, human design is a way to get back to my story and to put the pen in my hand and say, okay, what do I feel in my body right now? What lights me up? Life doesn't have to be hard. It can actually, be what brings me to life. So you knew in that moment, you didn't go into your head and try to take control, and you know to do that.
I was just gonna say, it's so it's been around and it's the way I've been thinking for so long. I don't even know how I've changed.
I remember.
When you pointed out, I can remember what it felt like to live that way, but uh, I can't go back to that way. I can't. I mean, like if I tried to, I'd be like, "That's a stupid idea."
I mean, how long have you been doing this?
20 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, a whole nodal return plus some.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually not 20 years until, yeah, my birthday next year, which is 26 days before the Sleeping Phoenix arrives.
Right. Yeah.
I was counting up numbers the other day and it hadn't occurred to me to do this, but my number, I love the number 26 because that's my life path number or whatever. You add up all the numbers in your birth date
Yes.
and it's a 26.
Yeah.
And
Mine's
so,
33. I'm aware of mine too.
oh, the 33. I love that one. Uh, Christ consciousness. Um, uh, and it's 26 days from my birthday to the February 15th, the day the Sleeping Phoenix takes over.
Cool.
Uh, Something significant is happening for sure, and it's all speculation about what it's going to be like.
Yeah. That sounds fun. I look forward to that.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be here talking about it while it's happening. I
That
mean, it
sounds
is
really cool.
happening, sort of. Although Ra always said it's not a leading up to a thing, it's digital. So we're not in the thing. People can say I feel it, or you can see the signs of, I mean, that's true. The collapse of institutions. 20 years ago, what that meant, I didn't imagine things like this. Uh,
I don't know what I thought 20 years ago. I was so different. Let us
that's
forget the
true.
world. I was different, you know? It's not just our perception also changes.
for sure. Yeah, and that's the whole point of deconditioning, so we can have unique perceptions and not homogenized perceptions.
I mean, it's like giving us more colors to play with. People don't have, there's not one set of traits that is acceptable and another traits that is not acceptable, in fact. And this gets into the philosophy of human design for me, which is that like we actually need all the different types together. And it's like it's a collective philosophy at its core. It is both present in the moment and it is perfectly inclusive and accepting. And
I
it's a
love
group.
that
It's
part
got a
too.
group consciousness built in. It's not just an individual discovery of enlightenment because it is about a collective progression where that is social by definition and necessity.
Yeah, and sharing and supporting and empowering through all of our individual experiences because we're not 100% telepathic. You
Yeah.
have to we're not here to go sit in a cave and meditate and have all these experiences. We're here to have these experiences and talk about them.
Yeah, we're here to show up, and which is part of, for me, what this dialogue is about helping people get out of their own way so they can be present to the experiences that are there for them, and they can have a baseline of life that is rewarding and fulfilling.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, if we're talking about something, there's probably at least 6 or 7 other people around the world talking about the same thing.
Or a lot more than that. I think so. If I'm at the point where I am at a gym in Utah and someone comes up to me and is asking me about her projector daughter so she can understand how to support her daughter's, energy and choices more powerfully, like I think it's a conversation that is still growing and the need for it is also growing.
Uh, I agree. I live kind of like in a bubble in the middle of nowhere. Well, in the middle of the ocean, insulated, I think, because I don't turn much on. I mean, I have to be on social media to post for
Mhm.
work, but I don't spend a lot of time in there, so I don't really know what's going on anywhere. It's good to talk to other humans and hear what it is happening out
Yeah.
there.
And I that's part of we both know that's part of my soul's path is to stay connected to that because I'm here to share that voice. So I have to know how to talk to them. I have to know what's going on and I come to life the more I do that. And then I can relax.
Yeah, I mean that's true because your life force is through the throat center.
Yeah,
Your identity, your self-expression it has to come out that way, or else you're not really living your life.
correct. If I'm not doing that, then are you okay?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Hey, Jessica, come on, what's going on?
When I was
That's
younger, I always felt like I was supposed to be on the phone a lot, like I'm supposed to be connected all the time. And so if I wasn't calling people, I knew that I wasn't in my own groove. I wasn't being my full self because I wasn't talking on the phone to enough people because that was like what I was supposed to be doing.
that's good awareness.
But that was before human design. I could feel it. You can feel the life force, and that's the whole point, I think, of these conversations too, is really to encourage people to tune into that, to accept it, and to move forward. We're just saying that in 1,000 ways, right?
Hmm.
2,000 ways, as many that ways as we can affirm that. Uh, Yeah. Sometimes our mind really likes having all these things to grasp onto just to give our bodies permission.
I didn't t what I didn't grasp that.
Sure. Like, I like human design. We talk about a lot of ideas sometimes, but in the end, it all takes us back to the same place, which is to tune in, to be aware of our body and to
Mm,
tune in to what brings us to life. So we
mm,
can have all these conversations about types and about, gates and about all these complex kind of ideas that are really just, food for our mind so that our mind can say, okay, just go with what your body says.
hmm hmm
It's like a
Yep.
complexity that like helps engage our minds so that it can get out of the way.
I'm glad that I had all the training and taken all the content that I've had. I'm not confused by it. I love it and I see it everywhere all the time, but
Yeah.
it's not for everybody and it's a whole different kind of language and you can actually mess up a conversation or an opportunity by getting into all that jargon. It's just let it, and that's why I love the way that things have changed when I do sessions, like doing it at the psychic fair, and there's only 15 minutes. They sit down and I see the chart and the stuff. I've never seen them before. I don't know anything about them. And
Right.
the stuff just comes out and it's not stuff that's rehearsed or anything. It's just somehow they're
Yeah.
able to pull back through my files and make it come out of my mouth. I'm like, oh, I do remember that, but I wasn't thinking of any of that stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
really exactly how it mechanically operates, but it's mechanical. It's not me doing anything. I'm not sitting there thinking. And I don't think I could do that if my mind was in there trying to say
Yeah.
what that says.
Yeah.
You have to just feel it and it just has to come out. And people, I think, respond better to that. They feel it too. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like I haven't been a human for the last my whole life. I have life force in me and I've had that experience of it somewhere, hopefully along the way a few times.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about this software and the first the MVP, the minimum viable product, will be payments
Oh, I get
and
so many
inventory.
chills. Ooh.
Ooh.
Dang. Wow.
And
Ah,
it's
like
information that it
related
has.
to my cross, right? Like what I wake up doing. So I'm the cross of separation in human design. Isn't it like something to do with because our cross is not something we have to try to do. It's when we get out of our own way, we discover that we find ourselves doing that. But if you know what your cross is less like a goal and more like a signpost. If you notice yourself doing those things, then you can take a breath. So my understanding of the cross of separation is that I'm I have appreciation for everyone being separate and different and unique. And I feel the richness of the whole through that. For me, I just I fall in love with with the collective because of the each individual, and we don't get the full expression of the collective unless everyone is actually being themselves. That's one way to say it. That's from someone who is living inside of that cross.
It's a lot of stuff goes through my head because I'm not looking at your chart right now. I feel like I should put it up, but I I know that you're a pure freak like me. You only have one channel and it's individual. So in some
One
ways, you're
channel.
not designed to care about other people's stuff and what they're going through. But the fifth line, you automatically sort of have to because everything is you're re-meeting everything that you've already met before. And
But I'm a projector here, so I'm not here to
yes,
do
yeah,
things myself, and
mhm,
people are drawn to me. And so
mhm.
whether or not I was already caring about them, I have compassion and I'm human and they keep coming to me. And I want, I want to thrive. I want connection. I want people to be at peace.
Yeah, and you see the potential and that it's not there.
And
And
that we
it's
don't need
just
to
like
do
a
it the
shift
hard
in
way.
perspective could, yeah, there's an easy way or there's lots of hard ways or
And
maybe
the
a
hard
few
ways don't
inquiries.
actually necessarily get you there. I think the
No,
only way you actually get there is the easy way. Everything else is a distraction that
exactly.
you need to distinguish,
Yeah.
or that you are in being invited to distinguish so that you can find your own way, which gets back to your the software you're talking about, which is
Yeah,
really
and you'll never figure it out with your brain. You can only figure it out through the body and getting to where you can hear it.
yeah.
I wonder what that self-directed authority is like for you. The sacral authority is so easy. It's dumb and it doesn't matter. Like it just uh-huh or uh-uh. And
Uh-huh.
if it's not uh-huh, it's not happening. I'm not moving.
Yeah, for self-directed, I definitely know that I light up when I really do get insights when I'm sharing, and I have to figure out the right who and when and where to share with in order to hear what is my own truth.
So you had a really cool reaction when I was talking about the software. Was that connected to the
Yes,
self-directed? Did that
that's
feel, I
similar.
got goosebumps. I'm gonna cry now. Like that's it. I love
Absolutely.
it. I can feel it.
Yeah. I didn't have them related, but I would say it's a similar feeling. It's like just overwhelming truth
Mhm.
that I can feel on a visceral and maybe that's the projector side. I can start to see or feel like grids of possibilities or of strategies or of pathways. I'm not even sure of people moving around. I'm not even sure what it is, but it feels more real. Now I have a closed. I remember closed was one of my like ways of knowing is like something like that. It's like if
It's
I'm
taste. I think it has to do with taste. Enclosed
taste.
taste.
The way that I know something is like inner vision or something like that.
Okay, so you must have
Wasn't
forked
there?
tongue. I'm looking right now.
I should have my chart. I didn't expect to talk about mine, but first and foremost, human design really is about is self-mastery first, and that's how we get to know the system. We get to know it by seeking understanding about our loved ones who are fundamentally different from us, and we get to learn to let them be them and accept that and follow our own path. And that's really why I'm here. You did that for me in a way that I'd never experienced before. You told me about myself. You put words to my experiences, and I'd never had anybody do that as well as you did that. I felt seen and heard and accepted, and like a load of stress was just instantly gone when I sat down on your couch and you started telling me about myself.
Oh wow. I love it. That had to be one of those things where I'm not planning anything and you just pull it out. It comes out and I have no idea what I often don't remember anything that was said.
Yeah, that happens to me when I'm doing readings for people too. They'll be like, "Well, you told me this." I'm like, "I'm sure I did. I don't
That
remember what
sounds
I
like something I
said."
might say.
But yeah, you help me understand myself and I think my design is pretty unique. So I haven't had a lot of
Very.
when people give me life advice, it doesn't usually fit me.
Mm-mm.
And in fact, it's usually the opposite. But I didn't know I was not trying to be difficult or, to be I want to relate to people, but it was harder. The more I shared my experience, sometimes the more distant people felt. So,
What
uh,
I know I have you on my phone and on the other computer, but I don't have you in this computer. Can I get your birth data?
what was that?
Can I get your birth data?
Oh yeah,
Now, hope can you see that?
now I can.
Does that look familiar?
Yep, it does. There it is. Cognition, inner vision. That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to remember.
that's the fourth tone, and closed is the taste. So your
Okay.
uh one of your superpowers is tasting things. Uh if you could lick a person when you meet them, uh, if they taste good, then they're good for you. But taste is really closely connected to smell. So you know when you walk into a room and you smell, but you smell with your mouth open, you can kind of taste a room that way.
Okay.
That's a superpower that you have. And you there's more information that rides along the smell, I mean the taste frequencies than the just the taste of how it activates the sweet and sour taste buds on your tongue.
Okay.
Uh, and everything's like that. Sound is like that. It carries extra
There's full
information.
spectrum sound. There's a
Yeah,
lot more sound than people talk about. It's a lot
yep.
bigger.
And smell carries like
Okay.
how the smell got that way, who was involved in the
Okay.
smell getting that way, what they were
Yeah.
going through. So very right oriented like you ha have this extra pathway for information to arrive into and for you amplified awareness like it's I love that we both have that in common, the not having any defined awareness, because it makes I think not Rod didn't ever talk about it this way, but I couldn't find a lot about it, and I remember asking about it specifically, and he didn't have a lengthy reply. He didn't really say that much about it, but not having any awareness centers, we're not here for that. We're not here to have this splenic or ajna or solar plexus experience. And for us, it's amplified. And what it makes me think is that it gives us access to more information since we have that. It's almost like a challenge to not have those centers defined. Uh, that there's gift or any the other side of that is there's something that's available or an opportunity that isn't there when you do have one of those things defined. Uh, I don't know. When I hear you talk sometimes, especially when we first met, I'm like, I recognized my own voice sometimes coming out of you. uh, uh, I don't know. There's something about this. I think it's something to explore.
Yeah. Which
But
centers are the awareness centers?
solar splenic is the
Okay.
awareness that this plane, this dimension lived with for um, maybe 2 million years, or
Okay.
no, longer than that, 2 billion years. So the
Okay.
first kind of awareness that we had here with single cell organisms is splenic awareness.
Okay.
That's where that it doesn't have a lot of intelligence with it. Um, if a microorganism is in its environment and it has this ability to sense at a distance whether something is food or foe, if it's something it should go towards or something it should go away from, and there's
Yes.
no direct connection. It doesn't have eyes to see it, but there's this
Yeah.
thing,
There's a sense
and
for it.
I've always had that feeling that that's connected to the spleen, um, and
Okay. Which is
that
also
level of
open for
awareness.
you.
What's that?
And you have an open spleen like I do.
Yeah, we both do. Yep. And
So,
so that's one. And then the ajna is the other one. Those are the two main awareness centers.
okay.
This is a conceptualizing type of an awareness. It takes
Okay.
data, facts from different things, and it synthesizes them into concepts and is able to express them through different processes. And so that's the splenic awareness is intuition. The ajna awareness is intellect. And then
Okay.
we have solar plex awareness, which
Oh,
it for us, for our kind of humans, it really just slows things down. It makes people pay attention to how they feel. And so if you're a generator and have the motor, the solar plexus slows that down, and you have to check the for where it is on the wave, because it could be on a wave going up and down up, or it could be on a wave towards yes, or it could be on a up and down wave going towards no. And so it really just it's not fully an awareness center yet. It will be after February 15th next year. All
Okay.
humans born after next year will have the
Yeah.
solar plexus born as an awareness center, not as a motor any longer. The
Okay.
19th gate will be gone, and this type of awareness where you meet someone that also has that spirit that has that capability that they'll have a spiritual connection that way. The humans born after February next year. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know how it's going to affect us or people
Yeah.
that have a solar plexus defined, what the change in the background frequency is going to do to them, how it will be different, what's going to happen when the 19 goes away.
Yeah.
uh, it won't be activated anymore in new humans, but for people that have it still, do they get something out of it? I don't know. It'll
Okay.
be, it will, there's a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah.
But how we got here, the three awareness centers, those are the three awareness centers, and not having them, it feels like an exponential thing. It's not just an additive thing to me to not have any of them. So
Yeah.
if there's three different ways that you can have awareness and we don't have any of them, it makes me feel like there's a more than just a doubling that a normal open center has. Uh,
Okay.
Ross said that when you have an open center, you're doubling. You know, if somebody has the wave and you're with them, we're twice higher when they're high on the wave, and when they're low, we're twice lower on the wave. And I think with us, it's more like nine times higher and nine times lower.
I get really excited sometimes when people get energized. I mean, I can feel people just thinking in a direction, and it is already real for me. I have to be careful not to like jump the gun because
Mhm.
I can already like see
That's the invitation is your protection.
the invitation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when you hear that, then you can like, oh, okay, now, and that's what I love about the sacral. If it's there's nothing there, then there's nothing there. Like it doesn't catch my attention, and somebody will have to tell me what I missed. If it was a or a no response, then I'm not engaged. There's nothing happening, and if something happens later and I need to know about it, I'm like, I wasn't, I, I, I disengage or I didn't absorb anything after the no response.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've seen that with others. There's nothing absorbed. I have to ensure. Are they here? Are they with me? Because
yeah,
otherwise, uh, that's funny.
I put on my Brown's gas, hydrogen.
Yeah, I when I hang around people with the different awarenesses, it feels like they almost have a sorting hat of some kind. They're sorting
Yes.
things in a way that I find interesting and useful when I need to know that, but I'm not sorting people that way. I'm more I'm more maybe because I am more free as an individual. I don't know. I'm pretty focused with how do we all collaborate and how do we all be perfectly unique and healthy and whole and engaged in a collective celebration. And as simple as that sounds, that really is what I do all day. That, I'm taking care of myself in the same ways that I hope others, I hope that I am an invitation, just even my presence. And I guess that's part of my channel as a creative inspiration is I'm here connecting to what inspires me and living it to the best of my own ability. And I want that for you. I want that for everyone. And and that means they have to learn, or they can learn to be exactly themselves and be present and stop trying to be who they're not because who they are is far more interesting. There's a place for
Yes.
everyone.
Yep. That's one of the first things that I heard about human design that I loved about human design is that every being born is supposed to be here, is part of the orchestra, and has its own unique perceptions and uh, gifts to share with the rest of the orchestra. They're all required.
Mhm. And it's like a language for all the different spaces and places that we can occupy. Different people can occupy each gate, each channel, each center, and the combinations is all just I love how many spaces to be, how many ways of being it maps out.
I don't have the chart, even
Interestingly enough,
though
though, when you were talking about taste, for me that was maybe one of the most affirming reasons that I like ways of knowing that we had a real strong match is the smell that blew my mind.
oh wow,
I was like, wow, this is different.
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
And that
the
was really
two.
reassuring because I had experienced not that. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is what this is supposed to smell like. I don't know.
That's
Taste
awesome. I
like
love it.
whatever it is. I was like, wow, something about this feels right.
So yours, you have all this white in your chart. You just have this
Yes.
one channel, and over here, all this color, all this definition.
Yes.
And wherever there's definition, that's what's consistent and reliable. So here, the only thing that's consistent and reliable is this one channel right here.
Yep.
And on here, this is consistent and reliable. 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 And it looks like four times more consistent and four times more reliable.
It looks like it.
It looks like it.
Except for I never know which one I'm gonna get.
Exactly. It's four separate pieces in for one thing. So who knows what piece is connected right now if anybody happens to be walking by. The planets don't really affect generators and projectors that much.
Yeah.
They affect manifestors and reflectors a lot. Especially reflectors are deeply affected by the moon. They're
Right.
actually lunar beings.
Yes.
So really, the planets, the transits, they can affect us, but it's more the transits really affect manifestors more and more of like the collective conscience. You can see the transit fields showing up in themes on the news and stuff like that, but on a personal level, it doesn't really affect individuals that much.
Okay.
But so it's not so much that the planets are connecting these four pieces of them, but other people definitely. I would imagine that he changes a lot when he goes from one group to another group to another group. Like if a camera followed him throughout the day, he would probably change his behaviors and how he's sounded throughout the day.
There's definitely different voices. Um,
Yeah,
Now I actually do find that, oh, it's the collective. That's what determines it. I find that there's a lot more influence there than I'm still constantly surprised.
that's collective, that's collective, that's tribal, that's tribal. So
Yes, very
he's half
tribal.
collective and half tribal.
And I am none of those things,
You're a
which
pure.
is something that comes up often.
Yeah, the
I
tribe loves the individual. The collective doesn't trust the individual. It's
Yes.
too unpredictable.
And I think anybody who's in a relationship where they have that difference um could benefit from hearing that there's not a right or a wrong and it's not they're just components and that are important for the overall.
Yeah, to me, when I now after 20 years of living like this is very limited to me. It has there's a specific way that information can get in and out of this head center and this ajna, and a
Yes.
specific way that information can get in and out of this throat and this G center,
Oh yeah.
and a specific way that information gets in and out of the spleen. And it's got these antennas, these magnets that
Oh, I've
trigger.
actually been working with AI to help me coach to understand what are the specific ways that I can provide this kind of
Oh, cool.
information so it can be as seamless as possible. Because I'm super flexible about how I share information, and I'm not even necessarily judgmental on what form is right or wrong or better. I'm interested in collaboration ultimately.
And empowering.
Yeah.
That's what this aura empowers others. You do what is self-directed, what feels good to you, and you don't even have to say anything to anyone. Just the fact that they're watching you and seeing you do that is empowering to them.
And I and then this is probably true for all projectors, but the better we can get about getting really clear on, okay, what is the invitation here? Exactly how, what is the extent of it? Like it was an ex like not getting blurry on that. Like, okay, I was invited for this, and if you can know why you were invited, even better. And if you can get a sense of how long, how big was this invitation? And then after you've diagnosed the invitation, saying, okay, well, is that something I want to be invited for? Right? Because you got to feel like you've been recognized for the right thing too. Is that correct?
Yep. And this 4037, is it here? It's got part of it. Uh, the 4037 is called the Channel of Community, and it's all
Okay.
about the bargain. And anybody that has it, knowing the terms and conditions of the bargain are critical to the person's well-being. And I feel like it's a kind of cross of planning thing, this thing that we've been in for the last 416 years. I
Okay.
feel like just because it's been part of the background frequency, it's always good advice for people to understand the terms and conditions of any situation that you're getting into. It doesn't have to be a contract signing thing, but getting
Yeah.
into a relationship, what am I bringing to the table? What am I providing? And what do I expect from you? And like having
Yeah.
those clear kinds of discussions is only going to help things. It might dismantle things and blow it up, and that might actually be a good thing, or it might also be something that allows things to get back together and have a new foundation, which is also important to you with your first line.
So you're pointing that out because I don't have it, but it is relevant. Is that why you're mentioning it?
Well, you mentioned something about clarity, and I
Yeah,
think
of the
I just
invitation.
mentioned it made me think of the channel of community and this bargain and being part of the background frequency for so long. It's really ingrained in our society, and with it changing and institutions falling apart, what does that mean for the bargain, for a bargain? Like, okay, uh, I put 25 years into my career and I expected to have a certain retirement and ending to my career because I showed up every day and I did what I was told, and
Yeah.
uh, that's didn't happen. It was we're in a time where the bargain is falling apart. The institutions are collapsing, and
Hmm.
um, bargains aren't really gonna. I don't know. It, it's about self-empowerment with the sleeping phoenix and collaboration. I feel like you've said that word a few times. Individuals collaborate. That's how we navigate any difficult situation is through collaboration, and not through self-sacrifice. I mean, in a way,
No.
like I'm gonna give my children so they'll go off and fight a war and whatever. Like we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
think we need our whole selves. And that's if we can all learn how to bring that, and that really, I think we can easily judge ourselves and try to make parts of ourselves disappear. I see people do that all the time. They don't have permission for these parts to be that way, so they try to make them disappear, but you can't actually do that. Not effectively. And if you have a part, then I like that human design says, if you have this tendency, there is a place for it rather than pretend, it doesn't exist. Discover how and where it applies. because we need it. We need it.
Yeah. And I, I know when we first met, this is something that we talked about is having this one channel. It predisposes us when your circuitry is only in individual circuitry. It's predisposes us to depression or really melancholy. But the mind gets a hold of this chemistry that shows up every once in a while where we feel kind of weird, icky, or off, and uh, having that list of 10 things that we love doing by ourselves. Because if we're with people, just like with your partner, uh, not having any individual circuitry at all, if you feel a little bit of melancholy, he's going to feel twice worse.
He'll feel it more.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's amplifying your individual melancholy that he doesn't
Why
have.
would
It's not
he?
something that's part of his system. So if you feel it a little bit, he's
Oh,
going to feel it twice as much. If you feel it a lot, he's going to watch him, like send him
I
on
know
a
you what you're saying is making
yeah,
sense, but I'm trying to understand it. So you want, and because he doesn't have individual. So anyone who doesn't have the individual, when they come across an individual who's having melancholy, they don't know what to do with that.
they have no clue what to do with it, and they feel really off. Like it's gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how horrible it feels, and the mind grabs a hold of this horrible feeling, and it's got all these stories that it makes up all the time about everything around it. And so this it adds to the story with this horrible feeling. I feel this way because you did that to me and you did that to me and that other thing did that to me and I that's why I feel like this. And it just keeps adding to that story and it never resolves itself really. We either stuff it away or we drink it away or whatever. It doesn't unless somebody comes across this stuff to find out about it, it doesn't come out.
So as someone who like deeply read like the Four Agreements, when I was 19, I pretty early on in my life, I stopped making assumptions and I let go of expectations. Um, and I don't know. I'm not, if I get melancholy, it doesn't scare me. I just, you talk about a list of 10 things I enjoy doing on my own. For me, it's like 100, 150. Like if I'm on my
That's awesome.
own, I mean, just living in Kauai for 14 years, I solidified it in a way. It's not going away. So I can actually probably shouldn't, but if I end up stockpiling melancholy for any reason, I know exactly what to do to just eliminate it, to drain it out. But I know how to do that. So, but if someone else is experiencing it and they don't experience it on their own and they don't have those holistic healing practices that are for me are so ingrained. I know how to move energy. I know how to get in touch, get my energy flowing, how to connect with the earth. I know how to feed my, how to breathe. I know all these things. So it doesn't scare me if I have a little bit of backlog because I know that I can. I know that I can like pretty much eliminate my own stress just by going and dancing or
Yep,
swimming
exactly. Yep.
or I know I can think of 150 ways I can go clear that.
Yep.
So I'm not scared of it, but I guess if I have a amount of it growing and someone else isn't familiar with it and doesn't have the same skill set or tool set, then that
Yeah, because
I can only imagine
it's
what that
not
would feel
part
like.
of their aura to have that individual circuitry there. They probably have some hanging gates that are individual, hopefully. But if they have none, it's not that mutative creative process is not part
Yeah.
of their
Well, what is
chemistry
it
or
like then? So what is it like then for a tribal collective if they don't understand
I think that's
individual?
why there's this trust distrust with individuals because if we
Okay.
let that thing in here, what's it going to do to us? Uh, and with the tribe, it's necessary because when you have a small population, if
Yeah.
you don't have an injection of foreign DNA, we're going to have problems with our offspring. If there's a lot of, if there's not enough DNA coming in.
Yeah.
With the collective, it already has enough DNA, so it doesn't want to have any surprises. It's just fine exactly the way it is. And this weird thing that comes in out of nowhere, what do we, I don't want to take the chance on that. And it has to prove itself.
So in society right now, we have a collective mindset that says we don't actually need anything new, but that's only a representative of one of three different mindsets. We've also have a tribal one, which would be much more us versus them, I guess. Like, and
Well, it's more, it's smaller and it's
okay,
smaller scale. It's what you can touch, it's see and
okay,
touch.
like
It's not way
family and
out
friends.
there. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay, and they don't trust the individual either, but they know they depend on it.
I don't know if they don't, I wouldn't say that distrust it. I mean, any tribe member is going to be leery of something coming in from the outside, but they know that they need that to come in to keep the
Okay.
population healthy.
So it's the collective mindset that has a distrust of the individual. And
Yeah.
would it be the individual, is it, I guess, part of their kuleana, to use a Hawaiian word about responsibility and duty, is that when they introduce it or as they introduce this, I guess, creative, mutative ideas to do it, do you have to wait for an invitation before you, how do they play
I
nice?
uh I think what it makes me feel is we've got everybody's okay. Everything we're everything's operating and it's all good. And if this thing comes in, it could infect us with something bad. It
Okay.
could it could do something, it could hurt part of the collective. And so there is a distrust, a wait and see, a needing to prove, and never really fully trusting it because it never we aren't trust we don't even know what might come out of our mouths tomorrow when something happens. Uh,
What
so
can
it
the
is
individual do though to
to a
introduce
to,
it as elegantly?
well, so you've got the 47, the 63, the 16, the 30, you have a lot of collective activations in here. So even though your life force is purely individual, you do have
Uh-huh.
these other parts of you that get activated every once in a while. And you've said it a lot, actually, when we first started talking about appreciating the collective and that every individual in the
I do.
collective. And that's, I think, an awesome way of saying your words were saying what's exactly what's in your chart.
Okay.
You appreciate
Yeah,
the collective, the individual as you are, but you also appreciate the collective needing being
I do.
comprised of a bunch of individuals. Uh, and
So ultimately, we all have all three components to varying degrees. And so we all
yes,
have it within us to understand and be aware of the different components.
yep. Even reflectors, the activations are in there. And I don't think I've ever seen a chart that doesn't have some activations. Now, the collective does have two kind of aspects to it. It has the collective abstract, which you have the 47 and the 35 are collective abstract. And then you've got collective logic, which is the 58 and the 16 and the 63, uh, the 5, the 9. So you have a
Yeah.
lot of logic in here too. And the abstract has a backwards looking relationship with time.
Okay.
Uh, and then the logic is pattern recognition, seeing things that are
I have
reliable.
a lot of that, right?
Yes, you do have a lot of that.
I
You are
swear I
very
can
logical.
see patterns going out forward. They feel more real to me than many things.
I even feel like that's part of that amplified awareness. There's
Mhm.
something happens. I don't know if it's because of the 43. I have the 43 and the 47 and the 24. So our ajnas are activated similarly.
Okay.
Uh, I see patterns made out of light all the time. I don't know where I've seen it since I was a little kid, and
Mhm.
I stopped talking about it for a long time. But the more I allow it, the more I see it,
Yeah.
and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's cool.
I agree.
I describe it to others, and you're one of the only other people that, oh, I know what you're talking about.
I
There
know
is a
exactly
person
what you're
on
talking
IG
about.
that I just started following, and she talks about visual snow and some other things, and she really makes a lot of sense. It's this kind of thing, this topic.
Yeah.
We talked a whole hour already.
I know. I was just thinking we should probably wrap up,
Yeah.
but
Well,
we can do it again.
I love it. I'm gonna stop the record. Well, no, I'll let it keep going. This to me is exactly what I was thinking of. We just get together and
Okay.
talk, pull out clips, um, and let the thing decide itself what it needs.
Okay.
I love how it went. I love how the things came out. I don't feel like I've rehearsed anything or was trying to force anything. It just felt very natural and it was fun. I loved it.
I enjoyed it too. Thank you, Drew.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.